I know people always say, like, if you're getting mixed signals from a guy, that's your answer. But I cannot stress enough, wait to date the guy who actually likes you. Because I have never dated somebody as obsessed with me as Eddie is. Like, he is obsessed with me. He doesn't want to do anything without me. When he finishes work, he calls me in the car and we talk in the car from his work all the way to home until he is physically opening up the door to our house, because then we can talk in person. Like, that's when he hangs up. Today, he's going to the gym and he was like, can you come to the gym with me? And I was like, you know, I have so much work to do. And he was like, you just make it so much more fun. And in a way, him being obsessed with me has kind of made me fall in love with myself a little bit more, because I'm like, you're so right. I do make everything more fun. So obviously find a man who you like and who you are obsessed with, because you spend a lot of time with your partner. But wait for the man who's obsessed with you, because then you get to be more obsessed with you too.
Not scientifically possible!
You know, maybe I'm wrong on this one, but I don't see how you can be more obsessed with yourself than you already are. I mean, let's just think about it. Through this whole rant, all you've done is talk about how your guy makes you feel and how he insists on being attached to you at the friggin' hip. And the two takeaways from your little brag is that your man doesn't have a life outside of you, and how he makes you even more insufferable than we ever thought possible. And it's kind of weird how you're telling other women to find a man who's obsessed with them, but obsession isn't exactly a good thing. If anything, it's kind of creepy. Now, don't get me wrong, a man should be into his woman. That goes without saying, but obsession? That just means he's putting his wants and needs on the back burner just to shine more attention on you. And you can't even be bothered to mention one thing that you do for him in return for this obsession. Hell, it doesn't even sound to me like you're even obsessed with this guy and you love yourself more than you love him. And I can't possibly see why. You're balding, you're talking about how great you are, and you're bragging about the fact that you have a boyfriend. That's not obsession. That's not even worthy of any form of recognition. And all it proves is that you're capable of crapping out of your mouth, and you expect us to be impressed with that.
This is how I know our hotel room was designed by a man. First off, the entire room is concrete and the open concept. So when you look into the bathroom, the entire bathroom leaks into the room. So if you want to take a dump, the entire room will smell like pure ass. Barn doors. So when you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you will inevitably wake up the other person sleeping with you. And a shower that has nowhere to put your belongings. And of course, it's a waterfall style shower. So for a girl, this is their worst nightmare, because not every woman wants to wash their hair every single time they take a shower. Look at this counter space. I couldn't even fit my full-size toiletry bag. This is the size of my hand. I have very small hands. Look at this sink. So when you're brushing your teeth, you literally bump into the mirror because it's cutting into the sink. And maybe the worst part of all of this is that there's no trash can in the bathroom, no trash can next to the toilet. There's only one trash can in the entire hotel room, and it's over here by, of course, the big fat desk that I guarantee you absolutely nobody uses. This could have been extra space for the bathroom. This could have been extra space for the bathroom. But no, we had to make room for a big fat ass desk. But the concrete design is really, really cool.
We've got a conspiracy here! Conspiracy! There's conspires! Conspiring! In a conspiracy! Conspiracy!
You know, I hate to break it to you, sister, but there's a reason why hotel rooms aren't usually designed by women. Mainly because it would have far too many throw pillows, massive piles of tampons, and it'll just smell like artificial flowers and pure contempt. Now, I will be the first to admit, I don't know much about the genderisms when it comes to the design of hotel rooms, but as an intergalactic bounty hunter who has hunted down skip tracers in many questionable hotel rooms, I feel like I'm qualified to say that room looks like it was designed by the lowest possible bidder. The concrete, the tiny sinks, and the barn door style shower really just reeks of laziness that was designed to try and fool people into thinking it was some kind of a postmodern hipster hotel. And it charges you double just so you don't have to stay at a mid-range franchise hotel. And sister, you fell for it hook, line, and sinker. But I gotta tell you, you've got no right to complain. You can clearly afford hipster hotels, and if that means you don't want to wash your hair and not have the hotel reek of your own dookie, then wear a friggin' shower cap and eat food that won't turn your colon spastic. It's not like you're living there anyway, and it's not like you paid for it either if you're traveling with a fella. So maybe instead of bashing us, just accept that you didn't bother to do any research into your hotel before shelling out $500 in an obvious money laundering con job.
That's funny because it's so true.
Do you ladies believe that chivalry is dead? Because I just had two things happen to me, and it's confirmed for me that chivalry is dead. I don't know if it's the day and age that we're living in, or people just don't give a shit. But yesterday, I was about to leave a building, and there was a man in front of me, and we were practically walking side by side. So he knew I was behind him, yet he didn't hold the door for me. He literally had the door slam in my face. Number one. Number two, today I was getting on an elevator, and there was a man standing in the elevator. And since I got on the elevator after he did, he was standing in the back and I was standing in front of him.
Well, what did the police say?
Oh no, someone didn't open the door for you? Well, that is just terrible. Did you talk to your therapist about it? I mean, you probably should. A dude not opening up a door for a chick is pretty much a reason for a modern woman to get PTSD nowadays. I mean, it's not like you could have just gotten over it and opened the stupid door for yourself. That kind of advanced technology is far too complicated for the likes of you, huh? But let me ask you something, darling. Would it have made any difference if he kept the door open for you? Would you be going online and proudly proclaiming that chivalry is not dead? Or would you completely forget about it and go about your business? I mean, woman, you got no right to complain on this one. You live in a world where the worst thing that happened to you is some strange man not holding open the door for you when you walked into a business. It's not like he was threatening to stone you just because you wanted to learn how to read or something. But this is what happens when modern women think the world owes them something. They go online and wonder why men aren't gentlemen, while also ignorant to the fact that her endless whining is unladylike and unworthy of gentlemanly behavior. But I get it. No, seriously, I do. I mean, I'd be pretty frustrated if I had to stand outside for 5 minutes to figure out the complicated nuances of a freaking door.
Anyways, we get to the ground floor and I'm about to exit since I'm in front of him. And what does he do? He scoots his body in front of me to let himself off the elevator first. Didn't even occur to him to allow me to exit before him. Not only because I'm a woman, but because I was naturally in front of him, I should have exited first. Those two things have confirmed for me that chivalry is dead.
Nobody cares what you think.
Wait a second. So not only did some dude not hold the door open for you, but another man got off of an elevator before you could leave first? Well, that changes absolutely nothing, woman. It's the same problem regardless of how you slice it. That guy could have been in a rush, or you could have been taking too long to walk out of the freaking thing, or he didn't give a crap about you because he had things to do that didn't involve making you feel feminine by getting out of a cramped mechanical box before he could. Now, chivalry is indeed dead, and not only were you and your kind the ones who killed it, but you also set that corpse on fire, defecated on the ashes, set the ashes on fire, and then dumped them down the stinkiest sewer grate you could possibly find. And then you act shocked when men stop acting gentlemanly when you insisted that we're nothing but a bunch of lazy, buffoonish psychopaths who slam doors in your face when we're not being more dangerous than bears. So what in the hell did you think was gonna happen, woman? You can't treat a man like garbage for literal decades and then expect him to treat you with kindness when all you've done is treat him with contempt. This is the world that you and your kind created for yourself, sister. So my suggestion is you head down to your local library and check out a few books on how to open up your own doors. They're in the kids section, so the book should only take you a few years to read with your levels of comprehension.
Learn how to read!
I find it so funny that men are so flabbergasted by the idea of having to do more in relationships. Basically, I made a video where I was like, if you're a woman, my relationship advice to you will be to do less, and if you're a man, my relationship advice to you would be to do more. And oh my lord, the men in the comments are so mad. Women have to pop out babies and go to work and do most of the housework. Not even counting like the emotional labor and stuff like that. God forbid someone suggests that men step it up a notch in this generation where it's apparently so hard to go to the grocery store and buy a $5 bouquet of flowers. Oh my god, it's the most difficult thing in the world, apparently.
Women should stay home and make babies.
Oh, I got me some good news for you there, sister. You don't have to worry about doing less in a relationship because you're already doing nothing at all. You expect the man to do all of the heavy lifting with the approaching, the planning of dates, paying for everything, squiring you about town, not to mention worshiping you and giving you offerings of flowers and herbal tea whenever you're on the rag, and you are always on the rag. Meanwhile, you just sit there and think that you're looking pretty. The issue is that anything a man does in a modern relationship, regardless of how hard he tries, is always considered the bare minimum. Even if he buys you flowers, you're just going to be pissed off that he didn't go to a florist to buy you something with organic fertilizer. Or when he washed the dishes, he didn't scrub that pan in the way that you'd scrub them if you actually bothered to wash dishes in the first place. And even if he takes care of the kids, you'll just tell him he's doing it wrong as you post a video shaming him for weaponizing his incompetence or some such nonsense. The issue is that you're not willing to lift a finger to make a relationship work, and you also talk crap about the man every single time he tries. Hell, it's come to the point where a dude isn't even allowed to speak up about how unfair you're being without you needing to complain about it. So what's the freaking point?
Women are told that we need to do more and more and more constantly. And the second that someone suggests that men maybe, they're like, no, you're crazy. You're gonna have 17 cats. And the bar is on the ground for this extra effort too. Like literally grab a $5 bouquet from the gas station, get a chocolate. Women are so easy to please in this generation.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
God forbid they stop playing Call of Duty for 10 seconds. God forbid. God forbid they get out of my comment section and stop criticizing a random woman on the internet and go maybe spend some time on their girlfriend. Take that energy and give it to your woman. Oh my god. And suddenly every man in my comment section is Mother Teresa in their relationship. They're breaking their backs. They're doing the cleaning. They're doing the providing. They're doing the everything. They're the ones popping out the babies now. Give me a break.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
Hey lady, you just proved our freaking points. We have guys who are cooking, cleaning, and bending over backwards to please their women, and you disregarded all of it because he's not showering his woman with flowers and cheap chocolate from the local gas station. It doesn't freaking matter how much effort a dude puts into a modern relationship because the woman has the ultimate right to write off everything he does for the pettiest of reasons, which just proves that if the bar you claim to set for relationships is low, then it's still too freaking high because nothing is ever good enough for you. And the sad part is even if you were to find a guy who meets all of your physical standards, he meets your emotional needs, does all of the cooking and cleaning, and makes sure that you want for nothing, you'll still be unsatisfied because the second he wants to have some bedroom fun with you, you'll be so turned off by it that you'll have to shame him for having the nerve to wanting to see you naked. There's no point getting into relationships anymore because women like you just turn around and say that men aren't doing enough anyway. But what exactly are we supposed to do? You haven't mentioned one constructive thing. It's just flowers and cheap chocolate. And I don't see how a broad like you can be worthy of that when you're only doing two things to make that relationship work.
Jack and shit. And Jack left town.
Today is my birthday. I just turned 42. No filter for the younger people out there because this is what a 42-year-old face looks like. And there's this thing I'm reminded of, especially on my birthday as I get older. It's this lie that I was fed growing up in the 90s. It's that the bravest thing you can do as a woman is to have both children and a career. And I don't think that's true. I think that the bravest thing you can do as a woman is to have neither. Because do you know how much courage it takes when you meet someone and they find out that you're in your 40s and then they say, oh, how old are your kids? Or do you have kids? I'm like, no, I don't have kids. And then they say, well, what do you do for work? You must be really invested in your job. I'm like, I also don't have a career. And they are just flabbergasted, and I am brave to have told them that. And I think that even now with the Girl Boss 2.0, it's like, are you girl bossing enough? And I'm like, I can barely girl boss myself. So shout out to all the people out there who actually are able to have a career and kids. I love that for you. I'm really just hanging on by a thread, taking care of myself.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
No offense. Alright, so if I'm understanding you correctly, you're 42, you have no family, no relationship, no job, and no life. Yep, so stunning, so brave. I mean, woman, there's nothing brave about what you're doing here. You've pretty much admitted to the world that you've completely failed in every avenue of life here. You squandered your youth by not being able to find a guy, and whatever attempt you tried to find gainful employment landed in spectacular failure. And you somehow think it's brave that you're able to tell people that you're a life failure? Yeah, those people you're talking to, they're not thinking about how brave you are. They might muster up enough energy to pity you for a few minutes, or maybe they'll realize they're wasting their time by talking to you. But brave? Yeah, that ain't happening, sweetheart. I mean, you said it yourself. You're barely hanging on by a thread here. And yeah, I'll give you half of a quarter of a credit for not descending completely into madness yet, but woman, it's only a matter of time at this point. You're already showing the signs by trying to fish for comments on the internet about your brave decision to be a loser in life. And that's the last bastion of someone who's teetering on the brink. And when you find yourself in that padded cell with your own personal straitjacket, even the freaking psychos in the mental ward will look at you and see nothing brave about you. Special shout out to the fine members of the Bounty Board over on Patreon. Even when we're watching reality descend into pure madness, it is still great to see these guys shining on like crazy beacons in today's world. All hail! And if you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the Bounty Board over on Patreon, where $5 a month gets you access to almost 100 videos of exclusive content that you're not going to find on YouTube. Links in the pinned comment down below if you want to check it out. And that's going to do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, and be sure to share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you once again for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.